Level 1. Chidori. Chidori was created by Kakashi Hatake as his first original lightning-based technique. It set the groundwork for many advanced variations later developed by both himself and Sasuke Uchiha. The concept behind Chidori is simple but difficult to master. By focusing lightning-style chakra into the user's palm, the technique generates a concentrated, high-voltage current. This energy creates a distinct, high-pitched sound, similar to the chirping of birds, hence the name Chidori, meaning 1,000 birds. For Chidori to function properly, the user must combine two key components: precise chakra control and high physical speed. The chakra needs to be molded evenly, compressed tightly, and maintained throughout the charging phase. At the same time, the user must dash toward the target at incredible velocity, maximizing the technique's penetrating force. This combination of ninjutsu control and taijutsu application makes Chidori extremely demanding to perform in battle. Chidori's strength lies in its ability to pierce almost any defense. It was designed as a single-target assassination technique, making it ideal for eliminating enemies with durable armor or defensive barriers. Mid-level shinobi who learn Chidori can potentially defeat stronger foes if the attack lands directly. However, it has a critical flaw. During the high-speed dash, the user's field of vision becomes narrow. This tunnel vision effect leaves them vulnerable to counters unless they possess the Sharingan, which can predict enemy movements. That's why Kakashi never taught it to anyone lacking that visual advantage, until Sasuke. In his youth, Kakashi used Chidori against an enemy from the Hidden Cloud Village. Though he succeeded in defeating the target, the near-fatal risk revealed the technique's instability. This experience directly led to his development of Raikiri. Chidori's importance is not limited to its raw power. It represents a training milestone for mastering three essential ninja skills: chakra shape transformation, lightning nature transformation, and the integration of high-speed movement with ninjutsu. These three elements form the basis for all future Chidori derivatives. Each later form attempts to address the weaknesses of the original while expanding its tactical utility. Chidori is not only Kakashi's first custom jutsu, but also the foundation of one of the most specialized lightning arsenals in the shinobi world. Just a moment, if you're into epic battles, emotional moments, or just want to laugh out loud with some totally funny and crazy characters, then you're definitely in the right place. Click that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our videos. Your one click means a lot to us. It seriously helps us stay motivated and keep making even better content every single day. Now, Level 2. Raikiri. Raikiri is the evolved form of Chidori, refined by Kakashi to correct the shortcomings of the original. Often translated as lightning cutter, Raikiri earned its name from Kakashi's legendary feat of slicing through a bolt of natural lightning. This technique builds upon the Chidori's mechanics, but enhances its precision, focus, and overall power. The core change in Raikiri lies in the compression of chakra. Instead of letting the lightning spread naturally, Kakashi concentrates it into a denser, sharper form. This refined shape increases both cutting accuracy and penetration power. The result is a technique that functions like a blade forged from pure lightning chakra, capable of slicing through more durable defenses that Chidori may not pierce cleanly. Raikiri retains many of Chidori's fundamental traits. It still demands precise chakra control and high-speed movement. The tunnel vision effect is still present, making it unsafe without the Sharingan's predictive vision. Chakra consumption remains high, limiting the number of uses in prolonged battles. However, the enhanced control allows for more stable performance and greater effectiveness against elite opponents. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kakashi used it to cut through one of the Eight Tails chakra arms, a testament to its potency against high-level chakra constructs. It demonstrated that Raikiri wasn't limited to assassination, but had applications in full-scale combat scenarios. Level 3. Cursed Mark Chidori. Cursed Mark Chidori is the result of fusing Sasuke Uchiha's lightning chakra with the corrupted energy of Orochimaru's cursed seal. This version manifests during Sasuke's period of alignment with Orochimaru, reflecting a phase of transition and internal conflict. Visually, the lightning darkens, often appearing black or violet, and the chakra becomes denser and more volatile. The curse mark amplifies Sasuke's chakra output dramatically. When combined with Chidori, this results in a version that exceeds the original in destructive capability. The added cursed energy destabilizes the chakra composition, making it more chaotic but also more difficult to resist. The technique gains a brutal, overpowering edge that can shatter high-level defenses. It's a clear upgrade in terms of raw damage, especially in one-on-one situations. The curse mark places both physical and mental strain on Sasuke. Prolonged use risks chakra overexertion and potential loss of control. The power boost is temporary, dependent on activating the seal. This limits its use in long battles and makes it risky as a regular combat option. It's a tool designed for decisive moments rather than sustained engagements. During the first major battle between Sasuke and Naruto at the Valley of the End, this form of Chidori collided directly with Naruto's Rasengan. The impact destroyed the surrounding terrain, emphasizing the sheer power behind the enhanced jutsu. The scene also marked a turning point in Sasuke's journey, revealing how far he was willing to go to gain strength, even if it meant relying on a source outside himself. Level 4. Chidori Nagashi. Chidori Nagashi marks the first significant evolution of Chidori after Sasuke's training with Orochimaru. Unlike the original, which channels lightning to a single focal point, Nagashi distributes chakra through the user's entire body. This turns the technique from a linear strike into a radial burst that extends a few meters in all directions. The shift transforms Chidori from a targeted assassination move into a tool for close-range control. To execute this variation, Sasuke emits lightning chakra from his tenketsu points across the body. The current travels outward like a pulse, affecting anything in the immediate area. The electrical output can disrupt movement, cause muscle paralysis, or repel nearby attackers. This change allows the technique to serve both defensive and offensive purposes, depending on the situation. Nagashi is effective when facing multiple enemies or when Sasuke is surrounded. Instead of relying on a single charge toward one target, he can maintain spatial control and disable opponents simultaneously. Unlike the original Chidori, which leaves the user exposed during the dash, Nagashi allows Sasuke to remain stationary or on guard while delivering the attack. Because the electrical current is dispersed over a wider area, the damage to any single opponent is lower. It's not designed to finish off a target, but to interrupt, create space, or apply pressure across a zone. During Sasuke's reunion with Team 7 in Naruto Shippuden, he demonstrated Nagashi against Naruto and Sai. The discharge stunned and paralyzed them momentarily, halting their movement and allowing Sasuke to take control of the engagement. It showed how the technique could halt aggressive advances and neutralize threats instantly. Level 5. Chidori Sword. Chidori Sword is another adaptation of lightning-style chakra by Sasuke, this time integrated directly into weapon combat. By channeling his lightning chakra into the blade of his Kusanagi sword, Sasuke creates a technique that enhances both cutting power and electrical disruption. The result is a high-precision, close-quarters weapon capable of slicing through tough defenses while inflicting internal damage through electric shock. Mechanically, the lightning flows along the edge of the blade, sharpening it and increasing its penetration capability. The current causes muscle spasms or paralysis on contact, making it more difficult for the opponent to retaliate. The blade also vibrates at a high frequency due to the chakra infusion, which improves its efficiency in cutting through resistant materials, such as summoned beasts or dense armor. This technique is most effective in one-on-one combat, especially against physically durable opponents. It allows Sasuke to apply consistent pressure in melee range without needing to rely solely on speed-based strikes. Its power increases in direct proportion to his swordsmanship, making it both a ninjutsu and a kenjutsu technique. The effectiveness of Chidori Sword depends on Sasuke's proficiency in close combat. Without refined sword technique, the jutsu loses its tactical value and can expose the user in high-speed exchanges. It also lacks area coverage, limiting its utility against multiple opponents or long-range threats. Sasuke employed Chidori sword effectively against Orochimaru's giant snakes. The lightning-enhanced blade cut through their thick hides with ease, demonstrating its capacity to deal with large and durable summons. The electric effect added another layer of damage beyond the physical strike. Level 6. Chidori Senbon. Chidori Senbon is a ranged adaptation of Sasuke's lightning arsenal. It involves compressing and dividing Chidori's lightning chakra into numerous Senbon-shaped projectiles. These electrically charged needles are small but fast, designed to paralyze and disable rather than destroy. This variant shifts the focus from power to precision and volume. To perform the technique, Sasuke molds his chakra into thin, sharp points and fires them in controlled bursts. The Senbon maintain the elemental properties of lightning, allowing them to travel quickly through the air and pierce targets with minimal resistance. In addition to their impact damage, the needles deliver electrical shock, which can disrupt the opponent's nervous system or restrict their movement temporarily. Chidori Senbon is best used against agile, flying, or evasive targets that are difficult to reach with conventional attacks. The wide spread and speed of the Senbon make it difficult to dodge completely, even if the opponent avoids a portion of the volley. The paralysis effect gives Sasuke an opening to follow up with a stronger technique, or close the distance. Creating and maintaining the shape of multiple Senbon requires high chakra control, making it chakra-intensive. The damage per needle is low, and without precise targeting, the attack may not achieve meaningful impact. It is more effective as a suppression tool than a finishing move. In his battle with Deidara, Sasuke used Chidori Senbon to eliminate airborne threats. The lightning needles neutralized Deidara's explosive spiders mid-air, proving their effectiveness in fast-paced, multi-angle combat. This allowed Sasuke to maintain control over a complex engagement without committing to a direct strike. Level 7. Chidori Sharp Spear. Chidori Sharp Spear is Sasuke's long-range application of lightning-style chakra, developed as part of his expanding combat style after the time skip. Unlike other Chidori variants, this technique avoids close contact altogether. It stretches lightning chakra into a spear-like extension that can reach up to 10 meters, giving Sasuke the ability to strike targets from a safe distance. To perform this technique, Sasuke shapes his lightning chakra into a linear form that maintains its piercing nature over long range. The spear can extend quickly and is capable of sudden directional adjustments or branching mid-attack, which makes it difficult for targets to evade. Because of the spear's nature, it can pierce through multiple enemies in a straight line or bypass cover. One of the key strengths of Sharp Spear is that it removes the need to approach the target. This gives Sasuke an advantage against opponents who rely on short-range counters or trap-based defense. It also works well against enemies hiding behind barriers or obstacles, especially when time is limited. The precision and reach make it a valuable part of his mid to long-range arsenal. Maintaining the form and stability of the spear over a long distance requires continuous chakra flow and control. In extended battles, this may reduce Sasuke's efficiency if overused. Sasuke utilized Chidori Sharp Spear during his battle with Itachi. While Itachi's defenses were layered and well prepared, the spear's range and ability to bypass obstacles forced him to stay on alert. It demonstrated that lightning-style attacks could pressure even highly defensive opponents without requiring direct contact. Level 8. Lightning Beast Tracking Fang. Lightning Beast Tracking Fang represents Kakashi's continued innovation with lightning chakra. Unlike most Chidori variants that rely on speed or direct piercing, this technique transforms lightning into animated wolf-like constructs. These beasts can act independently after being created, pursuing targets based on the user's intent. Mechanically, the jutsu requires molding lightning chakra into solid, mobile forms. Once released, the lightning wolves track the opponent's chakra signature and move autonomously across the battlefield. They can adjust course mid-pursuit, making them more difficult to escape than standard projectiles. This feature adds pressure by forcing the enemy to remain on the defensive. The wolves are effective against high-speed opponents or enemies who rely on evasion rather than defense. Since they act as mobile extensions of Kakashi's chakra, he can remain at a distance while still applying consistent offensive pressure. The technique also performs well regardless of environmental conditions, unlike Kirin or storm-based jutsu. However, Lightning Beast Tracking Fang is not designed for overwhelming damage. The wolves are primarily used for harassment, disruption, and creating openings. Their power is sufficient to injure or destabilize targets, but not necessarily to end fights directly. Kakashi used this technique during his confrontation with Pain's Paths. The wolves were effective in interfering with coordinated attacks, disrupting the rhythm of the battle, and splitting enemy focus. This allowed Kakashi to create gaps in the enemy's formation and reposition himself strategically. Level 9. Lightning Transmission. Lightning Transmission is a multi-target Raikiri technique developed by Kakashi to address combat scenarios involving numerous opponents. This variation uses a combination of physical coordination and chakra manipulation to increase the effectiveness of Raikiri beyond single-target engagements. The technique begins with Kakashi and a shadow clone simultaneously activating Raikiri in each hand. They then connect the two techniques with a lightning rope, forming a charged conduit between them. This line of chakra functions as both a cutting wire and an energy trap. Enemies caught in the space between the two users can be shocked, restrained, or directly attacked, depending on how the technique is applied. Lightning transmission is most effective when opponents are positioned close to each other. It excels at piercing through strong defenses, such as chakra arms or reinforced barriers. By attacking from multiple angles and linking the power sources, Kakashi can overwhelm targets that would otherwise resist a single direction strike. Maintaining the Raikiri in two locations while keeping the lightning rope stable requires constant chakra output and precision control. Additionally, if enemies are spread out or moving unpredictably, it becomes harder to position the technique effectively. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kakashi used lightning transmission to great effect against the tailed beast's chakra constructs. The technique broke through their defenses and forced them to divide their attention. It proved valuable in chaotic, large-scale combat, where controlling multiple enemies was more important than finishing a single target. Level 10. Kirin. Kirin stands as Sasuke's most destructive lightning-style jutsu. Unlike other Chidori-based techniques, Kirin does not rely solely on chakra-generated electricity. Instead, it utilizes real lightning drawn from the atmosphere, controlled and redirected through Sasuke's chakra manipulation. This jutsu marks the transition from user-generated energy to environmental domination. The technique begins with the creation of storm clouds. Since natural conditions may not always provide them, Sasuke initiates the process using a high-temperature fire-release jutsu, which heats the surrounding air and forces moisture to rise, triggering condensation and thundercloud formation. Once lightning builds in the clouds, Sasuke synchronizes his chakra with the natural current and guides it downward. He shapes the bolt into a dragon form, symbolizing both control and precision. Kirin's strength is rooted in the nature of real lightning. This jutsu travels at the speed of actual lightning, far faster than most shinobi can react to. It delivers immense thermal and kinetic energy in an instant, capable of destroying fortified structures and altering terrain. It's highly effective as a one-time finishing technique when the conditions are prepared. Without storm clouds, the technique cannot be executed. Once the lightning is released, it cannot be repeated without restarting the entire preparation cycle. This makes it less practical for spontaneous combat, but extremely valuable in premeditated engagements. Sasuke used Kirin during his battle against Itachi, calling down the strike to obliterate the Uchiha hideout. The blast devastated the structure and left little time for counteraction. While Itachi survived using defensive techniques, the raw destructive power of Kirin was fully demonstrated. Level 11. Susanoo Chidori. Susanoo Chidori merges the piercing force of Chidori with the massive scale of the Susanoo avatar. This technique becomes available to Sasuke after he gains full-body Susanoo access, enabling him to combine his signature lightning jutsu with his most powerful defensive form. In execution, Sasuke channels Chidori into the arm of his Susanoo. The technique scales up with the avatar, forming a colossal spear of lightning capable of leveling large targets. Sometimes, the Chidori is fused with Amaterasu flames, increasing its damage over time and adding a burning effect to the impact. Because the Susanoo can fly, the Chidori can be deployed in aerial attacks, adding a new dimension to its use. The size of the Susanoo protects Sasuke while charging, removing the original Chidori's vulnerability to counterattacks. It also grants access to long-range movement, aerial positioning, and high-impact striking force, useful against both mobile targets and large chakra-based entities. Maintaining Susanoo while executing a high-level Chidori puts a heavy strain on Sasuke's body. Overuse can lead to chakra exhaustion or structural instability in the Susanoo form itself. Additionally, the larger scale makes it harder to use in confined spaces. During Sasuke's battle against Naruto, he used Susanoo Chidori against Kurama's full chakra cloak. The resulting clash shook the battlefield, proving that this variant could match tailed beast-level power head-on. The technique delivered both scale and precision in one attack. Level 12, Kamui Raikiri. Kamui Raikiri is the ultimate fusion of two elite techniques, Kakashi's Raikiri and Obito's Kamui. This combination was only possible after Kakashi temporarily gained access to both of Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan during the final battle against Kaguya Otsutsuki. The result is a technique that defies both space and defense. To perform Kamui Raikiri, Kakashi charges Raikiri in his hand and simultaneously applies Kamui's spatial warping effect. This gives the attack two properties: physical piercing through traditional means, and phasing through dimensions to bypass even the most impenetrable defenses. The lightning is wrapped in Kamui's dark aura, visually distinct and functionally unpredictable. The strength of this technique lies in its ability to affect targets across dimensional boundaries. Because Kamui allows teleportation and partial materialization, Kamui Raikiri can strike a target through space without resistance. Its speed, enhanced by Kamui's teleportation, makes evasion nearly impossible for any opponent, even those at God-tier level. Kamui Raikiri can only be used when Kakashi has access to both Mangekyo eyes and enough chakra to sustain the dimensional rift. It cannot be replicated under normal circumstances, and the complexity of the technique prevents widespread use. This was a one-time technique made possible by exceptional events. Kakashi used Kamui Raikiri during the final confrontation with Kaguya. It pierced her defenses and disrupted her dimensional abilities, making it one of the few attacks that effectively countered her power. The move turned the tide in a battle against an otherwise untouchable enemy. Level 13, Purple Electricity. Purple Electricity is Kakashi's new lightning technique developed after losing his Sharingan. Without the enhanced perception of his eye, he could no longer safely perform Chidori or Raikiri. In response, he created a technique that maintains the versatility of lightning release while removing its visual dependency. Unlike Chidori, Purple Electricity can be shaped and released without high-speed movement. It can be used as a projectile, an area of effect burst, or a localized precision strike. The chakra is adjusted in density and output, allowing Kakashi to scale the power depending on the situation. This makes it usable in both assassination missions and high-risk environments. The technique's strength is flexibility. In Kakashi Haiden, he used it to disarm an enemy's explosive vest with precise chakra control, avoiding any collateral damage. In another instance, he released a massive surge of purple electricity that triggered rainfall, showing its environmental influence. It functions in all ranges and doesn't require advanced visual prediction. However, purple electricity has limitations in chakra usage. Beisei Chidori. Chidori is a lightning release jutsu created by Hatake Kakashi when he was a young ninja. Originally, Kakashi wanted to combine lightning chakra with the Rasengan, but couldn't perfect it, which led to the creation of Chidori. Later, he passed this jutsu down to Uchiha Sasuke, who further developed and upgraded it into several more powerful variations. In terms of mechanics, Chidori works by concentrating a large amount of lightning chakra into the palm, then releasing it at an extremely high speed, generating a powerful electric current capable of piercing through almost any object. This chakra not only increases the destructive power, but also enhances the speed of the thrust, making it a highly dangerous direct attack technique. However, because the user has to move at high speed while striking, Chidori has a major weakness. It leaves them vulnerable to counterattacks if the opponent can predict the attack's trajectory. Honestly, when using Chidori, you just charge straight at the enemy. This is why only ninjas with the Sharingan can use it effectively, as their enhanced vision allows them to anticipate their opponent's movements. When Sasuke faced Gaara during the Chunin exams, he used Chidori to pierce through Gaara's sand defense, proving its powerful piercing ability. More notably, in the battle at the Valley of the End between Sasuke and Naruto, Sasuke used Chidori multiple times to clash against Naruto's Rasengan, creating intense collisions. Although Chidori is a strong jutsu, the base version isn't enough to fight against extremely powerful opponents because it lacks flexibility. For example, when Sasuke fought Itachi, his abilities at that time, combined with Chidori, were completely ineffective. Because of this, many variations of Chidori have been developed over time. Just a sec, currently, our channel has more than 2,700 members. Thank you all for your support and companionship throughout the time. Every view, comment, and share from you is a great motivation for me to continue creating higher quality videos. And now, let's conquer the 10K subscribers target together. To achieve that, I really need everyone's help. Please press the red subscribe button below so you don't miss any new videos from AnimeZONE. And don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends too. If you are new to our channel and you love what we do, please click the notification bell to receive notifications whenever I have a new video. Thank you very much and love you all. Next, Habataku Chidori. Habataku Chidori, also known as Flapping Chidori, takes the power of the standard Chidori to another level. When using this technique, the lightning release chakra in Sasuke's hand doesn't just concentrate in his palm, but spreads across his entire arm, releasing electric currents that resemble flapping wings. This is an upgraded version of Chidori that Sasuke can only use in his Curse Seal Level 2 state, a form where his physical abilities and chakra output reach their limits, almost to the point of bursting. With a larger scale, Habataku Chidori naturally delivers higher damage, with an electrical charge far stronger than the regular Chidori. Sasuke unleashed Habataku Chidori during the legendary battle at the Valley of the End when he faced Naruto in his Kyuubi chakra cloak. The clash between Habataku Chidori and Rasengan resulted in a massive explosion. Of course, this technique can only be used while Sasuke is in Cursed Seal Level 2. This means it comes at a heavy cost, massive chakra consumption, and the dangerous risk of losing control over himself. Chidori Nagashi. Chidori Nagashi is an advanced variation of Chidori, developed by Uchiha Sasuke during his training with Orochimaru. While the original Chidori focuses all its power into a single point, Chidori Nagashi releases the electricity throughout the user's entire body, creating a powerful electrical field. This allows Sasuke to attack and defend at the same time, making any enemy that gets too close instantly shocked. We even see him electrocute Naruto, Sai, and Yamato all at once. Beyond that, Sasuke can also direct the electricity into the ground, as seen in his fight against Itachi, increasing his attack range and allowing him to deal damage without needing to get up close. Compared to the original Chidori, Chidori Nagashi is not only more versatile, but also helps Sasuke overcome the weakness of having to charge straight at his opponent. This is one of the clearest examples of his evolution in combat style, from a ninja who relied purely on rushing attacks before the time skip to a fighter with better strategy and battlefield control. Sword of Kusanagi, Chidori Katana. If Chidori Nagashi showed Sasuke's ability to spread electricity throughout his entire body, Then, Sword of Kusanagi. Chidori Katana is how he channels Chidori into his sword, turning it into a deadly, electrified blade. When infused with lightning chakra, the blade becomes not only sharper, but also capable of cutting through ordinary metal with ease, making every slash nearly impossible to block. When an opponent is struck, the electricity immediately flows into their body, paralyzing their nervous system and causing their muscles to seize up. Basically, getting hit just once can leave the enemy immobilized for a brief moment. And in a high-speed battle, even a split second like that can decide the outcome. However, no matter how strong it is, Chidori Katana is not unbeatable. If it clashes with another weapon infused with lightning chakra, like Killer Bee's swords, its cutting power can be nullified. This was proven during Sasuke's fight against Killer Bee, where instead of dominating his opponent as he had in previous battles, he struggled against Bee's incredibly unpredictable and fluid swordplay. Even so, Sword of Kusanagi, Chidori Katana remains one of the techniques that makes Sasuke an extremely formidable swordsman. Instead of just charging straight in with Chidori, he can now combine swordsmanship and ninjutsu to create attacks that are sharper, faster, stronger, and much harder to predict.
Chidori Senbon. If Chidori Katana is how Sasuke turns Chidori into a deadly sword, then Chidori Senbon takes the jutsu in a completely different direction, transforming it into a storm of electrified needles that can destroy opponents from a distance. By using shape transformation, Sasuke molds his lightning chakra into countless sharp senbon and fires them at high speed toward his enemies. The number of senbon can be increased depending on how much chakra he uses, allowing him to either attack multiple enemies at once or focus all his firepower on a single target. The most terrifying aspect of Chidori Senbon is when it's combined with the Sharingan. With his incredible perception and ability to analyze movement, Sasuke can precisely target an opponent's weak points, turning what would normally be a wide-range attack into a true finishing move. If an average ninja used this technique, they would only deal general area damage, but with Sharingan, every single senbon becomes a deadly projectile aimed at a critical spot. Sasuke has used this technique before against Deidara's clay spider swarm, throwing them like shuriken to counter the incoming threats. Compared to the regular Chidori, Chidori Senbon allows Sasuke to maintain a safe distance while still dealing heavy damage, making it an incredibly useful jutsu in battles that require precision and speed.
Chidori Sharp Spear. If the original Chidori is a close-range attack with immense piercing power, then Chidori Sharp Spear is the optimized version for mid-range combat, allowing Sasuke to extend his attack range while keeping Chidori's deadly nature intact. Instead of concentrating lightning chakra into his hand for a direct thrust, Sasuke uses shape transformation to stretch Chidori into a sharp spear that can extend up to 10 meters. This not only reduces the risk of engaging in close combat, but also gives him the element of surprise. After all, who would expect a lightning spear to suddenly shoot out from his bare hand? Sasuke has used this technique multiple times throughout the series. He stabbed Orochimaru with it, impaled both Karen and Danzo at once, and even pierced through Itachi's body before altering its shape into multiple branching blades inside him to cause even more damage. Sasuke can also channel this technique through his Chokudo, turning it into an electrified blade with an extended attack range that cuts through anything in its path. One of the most impressive moments of Chidori Sharp Spear was when Sasuke infused it with Six Paths chakra and sliced Madara Uchiha in half while he was in his Six Paths Jinchuriki state. Of course, it wasn't enough to kill Madara, but it was still an incredible feat. Compared to other Chidori variations, Chidori Sharp Spear strikes a balance between speed, power, and range, allowing Sasuke to fight more flexibly without having to take the risk of close combat. A single thrust can finish off an opponent before they even realize they've been hit.
Raikiri. Raikiri, also known as Lightning Cutter, is Kakashi's personal version of Chidori. It got this name because, according to Might Guy, Kakashi once used it to cut a lightning bolt in half during the Chunin exams arc. though unfortunately, we never got to see this happen. At its core, Raikiri and Chidori work the same way. The user concentrates lightning chakra into their palm, then dashes forward at high speed to pierce through their target. And of course, they share the same fundamental weakness. Without Sharingan, the user risks being counterattacked due to the tunnel vision caused by the high-speed charge. Raikiri also consumes a lot of chakra, which is why it's usually used as a decisive finishing move rather than a spammable attack. But just like Sasuke, Kakashi later became skilled enough to use Raikiri multiple times in a battle. In fact, we've even seen him use Raikiri in both hands at the same time to counter Kakuzu's powerful lightning techniques during their fight. In the end, the biggest difference between Raikiri and Chidori is just the name. But I still have to mention it because, first, it belongs to a different user, and second, Raikiri itself has some interesting variations that are worth talking about.
Lightning transmission. To perform lightning transmission, Kakashi first creates a shadow clone. Both he and his clone then charge Raikiri in their hands. When the two Raikiri streams connect, they form a sharp electric wire that can slice through anything, like a high-powered electric saw. The power of this technique is evident when Kakashi effortlessly cuts through multiple chakra arms of a tailed beast at once, as if slicing through butter with a hot knife. This showcases lightning transmission's devastating offensive potential and its ability to cover a wide area in battle. Raikiri Kunai. Yeah, if Sasuke can channel Chidori into his sword, then Kakashi can do the same with a kunai. He infused his lightning chakra into a kunai to enhance its cutting power. And, well, since there's no such thing as Raikiri Senbon, he used the kunai as a way to launch his Raikiri in an attempt to attack Obito. Beast Tracking Fang. Lightning Beast Tracking Fang is essentially a lightning hound, hunting down its target with terrifying speed and agility. This is an advanced variation of Raikiri, where Kakashi doesn't keep the lightning in his hand, but instead launches it in the form of a fierce electric dog. What makes this jutsu special is that the lightning hound doesn't just charge straight at the enemy. It can change direction mid-attack, making it unpredictable and nearly impossible to dodge. This is because it's connected to Kakashi's hand by a lightning tether, allowing him to control its speed, trajectory, and range by adjusting the amount of chakra he feeds into it. With its high speed and maneuverability, Lightning Beast Tracking Fang is an incredibly powerful technique for mid to long range combat. It lets Kakashi attack without having to engage in close combat, fixing Raikiri's biggest weakness, the need to rush directly at the opponent. Unfortunately, the one time Kakashi used this technique, he was up against pain, so it didn't have much effect. While he didn't use this jutsu often, it still showcased his creativity in developing lightning release techniques. Honestly, I was hoping at some point he'd summon an entire pack of lightning hounds, but this jutsu didn't get much screen time. Kamui Raikiri. Kamui Raikiri is an upgraded version of Raikiri, reaching an almost godlike level where lightning merges with space-time abilities, turning this attack into an inescapable finishing move. After receiving 6 paths power from Obito, and of course both Mangekyo Sharingan, Kakashi didn't just enhance Raikiri with chakra, but also infused it with Kamui's power. This means that anything struck by it is instantly warped into Kamui's dimension, leaving no chance to resist. Sounds insanely overpowered, right? A jutsu that not only delivers massive damage, but also erases its target immediately, making it almost unstoppable in close combat. But wait, Kamui Raikiri doesn't stop there. When combined with Kamui's intangibility, Kakashi can phase through enemy attacks, allowing him to land the strike with zero risk. This makes it the perfect move for delivering a swift and decisive kill. Unfortunately, it only appeared once in the entire series, but at least it was during the most important battle, defeating Kaguya. If Kakashi had been able to keep his Mangekyo Sharingan after the war,
Kamui Raikiri could have easily become one of the most terrifying jutsu in the shinobi world.
Magnet release. Spiral jet black. Have you ever imagined Naruto and Sasuke combining their powers into one ultimate attack? Magnet release. Spiral jet. Black is the perfect example of that. In this technique, Naruto creates a special Rasengan infused with magnet release chakra, forming a powerful sealing vortex. At the same time, Sasuke unleashes a Chidori enhanced with Six Paths chakra, striking directly at the target. When both attacks converge from opposite directions, the enemy isn't just caught in a devastating collision, but is also locked in place by the sealing marks from Rasengan. No dodging, no escaping. One side deals massive damage, the other completely restrains, and when these forces combine, the result is an unstoppable attack. A combo capable of annihilating any enemy. Well, unless that enemy is Madara, as the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Susanoo. Chidori. You think Chidori is already powerful enough? Now imagine it being amplified to an entirely new level when combined with Susanoo. Susanoo, Chidori is the ultimate version of Sasuke's lightning release technique, transforming it into an absolutely devastating attack. When activating this technique, Sasuke uses his perfect Susanoo to unleash a colossal Chidori. The arm of Susanoo acts as an amplifier, increasing both the range and destructive power of the technique. Unlike a normal Chidori, which requires the user to charge at the enemy in close combat, this version allows Sasuke to strike with greater force, higher speed, and massively increased destructive power, all without putting himself at risk. During his final battle against Naruto at the Valley of the End, Sasuke poured a massive amount of chakra into this giant Chidori, clashing head-on with Naruto's tailed beast bomb. The moment these two ultimate attacks collided, they created a cataclysmic explosion, marking one of the most legendary clashes in the entire series. Short range, low damage, needing to charge straight at the enemy? With Susanoo, Sasuke doesn't have to worry about any of that anymore. The only downside? A technique on this scale consumes an insane amount of chakra. Kagutsuchi Chidori. Throughout Sasuke's journey, he has created and developed numerous variations of Chidori, from Chidori Nagashi, Chidori Sharp Spear, and Chidori Senbon to Susanoo Chidori. But when it comes to combining fire release with Chidori, it only happened once. This technique was used only once, during Sasuke's final battle against Naruto at the Valley of the End, the fight that would determine both of their fates. More than just another Chidori variation, Kagutsuchi Chidori is the perfect fusion of two of Sasuke's strongest techniques. Chidori and Blaze. Release, Kagutsuchi. By itself, Chidori is already an incredibly destructive jutsu, capable of piercing through almost any defense due to its speed and concentrated electrical charge. However, Sasuke took it one step further by infusing it with Kagutsuchi, a technique that allows him to manipulate the flames of Amaterasu at will. The result? A Chidori that not only pierces through its target, but also engulfs them in black flames, the inextinguishable fire that burns until its target is reduced to nothing. The moment Kagutsuchi Chidori clashed with Six Paths Rasengan was one of the most iconic scenes in the entire series. The two most powerful shinobi of their era unleashed their strongest attacks, colliding with an unimaginable force. The sheer destructive power of this clash was so overwhelming that both Naruto and Sasuke lost an arm. If Naruto hadn't possessed the Six Paths Sage power, and if Sasuke didn't have Sharingan and the ability to control Amaterasu, they both might have been completely wiped out by their own attacks in that very moment. Alright, that's all for this episode. If you want me to make a video about any other anime or a specific character, just leave a comment below.